Hey, truth seekers, Haseen here from noisehound.com. Thanks for visiting my channel. If you're like me, you're stuck in your house, quarantined in one way or another from coronavirus. Our lives have been significantly impacted around the world from the global economy, shortages of resources like water, toilet paper, food, and a tremendous impact on our health globally. Tens of thousands of cases now and thousands of deaths in countries around the world. And that alone should be a reason why we should have a conversation about what the response should be as a global community, since most experts agree that this outbreak of coronavirus spread to humans from a wet market in Wuhan, China. These so-called wet markets don't exist solely in China. They're actually located in countries throughout Southeast Asia, like Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, even places like India, Africa, and in South America. Wet markets are places where you can buy wildlife for consumption, and they're slaughtered on site, from pangolins to tigers to bears to all sorts of exotic wild animals that are brought from around the world to a single market. And that's a place where viruses can spread between animals. But how did it spread from a bat to humans?
A lot of the viruses that make us sick actually originate in animals. Some of the viruses that cause the flu come from birds and pigs. HIV/AIDS comes from chimpanzees. The deadly Ebola virus likely originates in bats. And in the case of the 2019 coronavirus, there's some evidence it went from a bat to a pangolin before infecting a human. While viruses are very good at jumping between species, it's rare for a deadly one to make this journey all the way to humans. That's because it would need all these hosts to encounter each other at some point. That's where the Wuhan market comes in. It's a wet market. A kind of place where live animals are slaughtered and sold for consumption.
It was not a surprise at all, and I think that it was not a surprise to many scientists.
Peter Lee is a professor and expert on China's animal trade.
The cages stack above one over another. Animals at the bottom are often soaked with all kinds of liquid, animal excrement, pus, blood, or whatever the liquid they're receiving from the animals above.
That's exactly how a virus can jump from one animal to another. If that animal then comes in contact with or is consumed by a human, the virus could potentially infect them. And if the virus then spreads to other humans, it causes an outbreak.
So how bad could this get? According to 60 Minutes and other experts, as much as 40 to 50 to 60% of the global population could become infected. You've heard mortality rates around 1%, but if you look at data coming out of places like Italy and Iran, where their healthcare systems are overrun, those mortality rates, at least the numbers now, look like somewhere between 5 to 8%, and that is tragic and staggering. Our global economy could see an extended recession. Initial data coming out of China for January manufacturing and retail sales is not good, and the global markets are responding. The impact on the healthcare systems in these countries hardest hit by COVID-19 coronavirus will be tremendous. It'll make it hard to get treatment for chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or even other illnesses like the flu or pneumonia, or emergency room treatment for injuries and broken bones. It's going to make it difficult to receive basic care in these countries like Italy and Iran and Spain, whose healthcare systems are overrun with COVID-19 coronavirus cases. You could also see shortages of medical supplies, which you're already seeing in Italy and Iran. Shortages of respirators, medicine, antibiotics, antivirus medicine. So what should our global response be? When this is all said and done, we're on the other side of this outbreak. What should our response be as a global community? Do we do anything at all? Who is responsible? Many experts say that it's not the governments in countries like China, Thailand, Malaysia, Hong Kong, that are responsible. It's actually organized crime syndicates that bring the wildlife to these wet markets in these countries. And if they get shut down in one place, they just open up in another one. While other experts suggest that it's poor communist countries like China that have policies to promote wildlife farming for small farmers and peasants to be able to feed themselves and provide for their families. If you've been to a wet market and you shop at places like this, I'd love to hear from you. Why should we not respond and attempt to close these wet markets around the world? Love to have a conversation about this. Include your comments in the section below. Subscribe to my channel if you like the video. Give it a thumbs up. And again, thanks for watching. Visit noisehound.com for more information.